It's so great to see you again, Makanani. Thank you for being with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
You know, in your role at the mayor's office, you get a chance to see a lot of art.
Particularly with government, to be the head of the arts and culture office or department is sort of an abstract thought for people, right? Like what do you do? Like what does that have to do with city municipal operations? Why is it important? But if we think of the fact that art is so central to who we are as people, then our department and our work becomes central to who we are as a city of Honolulu.
And you have specific projects, however, that you honcho.
Yes, I think the largest one and the one people will most know about is the Art in Public Places program. So every city building, every work of art that's in it, all of the monuments on city property. So for example, Prince Kuhio, Duke Kahanamoku, Kapi'olani at the park, those are all under our jurisdiction. So we do conservation, we do regular maintenance, and just assure that they're cared for properly.
And are they all local artists that are commissioned, or?
They are split. A lot of times we do a call for artists, and whoever the Commission on Culture and the Arts deems the best proposal, feasible wise, that's who they will go with. So sometimes there are local artists, and other times there are others from the continental United States.
And you have other projects that are actually probably more visible to the public.
Yes, you're right. I think the one you're probably referring to is Honolulu City Lights. So when we came on in 2021, we got thrown the Honolulu City Lights project. So from our tiny office of 6, we basically work with all of the city departments to make that happen. And that takes up probably half of our year. We're already in talks now to present Honolulu City Lights for 2022. The other major project we have is the Sister City program. So our office deals with all of the international relations, dealing with the consulates locally and both abroad in terms of partnering on educational programs, economic revitalization initiatives, anything of that sort. We're sort of the first touchstone for the city.
You know, many of us don't know about that because it's Chinatown, for instance, that's most visible. That's another project.
Yeah, Chinatown is one of the mayor's sort of 3 largest priorities. So for us, Chinatown became central to who we are as an administration. So in my role, what we were trying to do is really sort of help to revitalize. So the first departments to go in were facility maintenance, design and construction, parks, to really fix the infrastructure and cleaned up the roads, fix the tree issues, and try to do homeless outreach. But our job as arts and culture, and really with the Office of Economic Revitalization, was to create more opportunities, do more partnerships, so that now that we're at a place where Chinatown is a little bit in better infrastructural shape, how do we build and make Chinatown really vital and a center of life again? Not just for downtown Honolulu, but for all local people.
Well, and when we travel downtown or in Chinatown, there are beautiful locations, beautiful architecture. It's very poetic. It's very artistic.
Yeah, for sure. I think Chinatown, obviously, it's one of the most historic architecturally places in all of Honolulu. I mean, there was a major fire there, in 1900, but a lot of the buildings got rebuilt, and so Chinatown is actually a special district for Honolulu. So it greatly reduces our ability to do certain types of art within Chinatown proper, but on the periphery of the special district, we have a bunch of projects in order to sort of liven up the place and put a new feel to it.
So if the city and county, from a government perspective, is focused on art as more than economics, what thoughts do you have that you can share with other communities to help support this?
I think arts and arts sort of supporting agencies, or like creative industry at large, is going to be really important for us moving forward. So not just the actual art that you're creating. For example, like our crew here is arts related, right? They are the lights, they are the cameras, and it touches so many other industries that the arts really is central to who we are economically. Even if tourism is still major, tourism is heavily relying on our ability to offer entertainment, to offer things that will bring people in, and those are all arts.
Honolulu, Hawaii, we have so much to offer the world with regards to art.
Oh, absolutely. I think just our geographic space, in the middle, sort of the gateway between what is the West and what is the East. But Hawaii also has all of Oceania and all of the really diverse indigenous people living there. So we have something, I think, to offer that no one else in the world does. So art is our way to communicate and to share these things in a simple way. I think Hawaii should really be central, and our arts scene should be something unlike anything in the world, which focuses on what we have that's different, not just Western, not just Far East art, but something also Oceania centric.
What are some of the challenges that you face?
Wow. I mean, I think on a national level, we don't support arts in the way that other international destinations do. And I think that's just indicative of the more of the national attitude towards arts, right? And the humanities in general. We've become very much a STEM centric, which is STEM is really important, but without the arts and the humanities to balance, we are creating people who think perhaps less creatively because your education is not as broad and you're not taught as many ways of coming to one problem. Like we know the more diverse a group you put together, the solutions become out of the box because everyone thinks differently, everyone has a different background. So I think arts and humanities really help us to do that.
Well, and here we sit in this beautiful garden with the fountain and the birds and the wind. Nature's art.
Absolutely. I mean, the shadow on the ground is art. Your fashion is art. The person who created these chairs, everything is an art form, right? These are people who are experts in their fields. So to allow them the space and the support in the way that we do support sort of the hard sciences, I think it's really important to who we are as people.
Some closing words for our audience.
Well, I think whenever you have the opportunity to experience art, music, museums, to support local kids in art exhibitions, to enroll your children in piano or hula or jujitsu, take it because it really enriches who you are and it helps your children and us as people to, sort of enlarge our view of the world, which is what art, I think, really brings for us.
And art can be fun as well and fulfilling.
I mean, I think that's just sort of a side benefit is art is there to be fun, right? It should be something enjoyable for your soul that enriches your life.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. Thank you.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you for listening to my conversation with Makanani Salā, Executive Director with the Mayor's Office on Culture and the Arts.